I am Justin Arnett Graham.
And I'm Nariba Shepherd. And this is Terms of Service.
Boom, boom, boom.
When will we get the licensure to make that sound like a button?
We could make that sound a button, but Marcus would have to make that happen. So,
Marcus?
Yeah, feel free to email Marcus, and he will respond appropriately.
I'm just going to DM him.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I will not speak for him, but we will see what happens in forthcoming episodes. So, everyone stay tuned for that. But Nariba, how are you?
I am delirious right now.
Okay,
I am
I'm sorry to hear that.
with 3 hours of sleep, realistically.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew in my brain today that we were going to be sampling goods, but my brain has not caught up with the rest of my body. So,
Great.
Yeah.
Well,
where are you at?
I'm fine.
Damn.
I, have quite
Less sleep than me?
Yes.
Yeah. That's
yes.
crazy.
Yeah. By 50%.
Oh my God.
But I'm here. I'm excited. We're gonna be doing the damn thing.
It's happening.
And yeah. So I mean, I can't complain. I'm just like, all right. And I'm already sipping a little bit, so I'm feeling even better. Something to like curb off the
It's
cold.
9:30 in the morning.
So I'm
okay with it. I'm just saying.
But not when this drops.
I know.
So,
I know.
I was like, it will very much be of appropriate time, but this is a zero judgment zone. So
yeah, no, I'm
do
not
what you got to
judging
do, but just practice mindful consumption.
Yes.
And so I guess we just did the whole thing.
Yeah, we did the check-in.
Yeah.
We did the burp. We introduced ourselves.
Yeah.
Max is still recording, so we're good to go.
Absolutely. So this is extremely exciting for a multitude of reasons, but why I want to start at the top is because through the time of Terms of Service, we have been quite fortunate to work with different beverage brands, spirits portfolios, but something that has always been extremely important to us is to highlight those in the community that are doing brilliant work, and we absolutely are inspired by this guest. So I'm really excited for you to join us. And yeah, no pressure. So bring that smooth voice to the mic, because I
There's
don't
no
want
pressure,
it.
but I just feel really special.
Oh,
That was
okay.
a really nice way to slide me in there.
Yeah, for sure. And I am not going to introduce you because obviously I don't want to speak for you. So if you would like to introduce yourself, my friend.
Who are you?
I am. I'm Jesse Stewart Jr. I'm the founder and CEO of Alexander James Whiskey.
I know that's right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Say that with
And
your whole
I have
chest.
to add the junior now as I get older. My dad obviously is a senior, and my grandfather, his name was Jesse Stewart. He just didn't have a middle name, so it's just me and my dad as far as we have the middle name thing. So I have to make a point to say Jesse Stewart Jr.
Fair.
Feels so damn regal.
Yeah,
I'm just like
Junior. Please say the junior.
yeah, yes, absolutely. It's just like make sure that shit's on there. But then I don't have any of that in my name. It's just my name is long as hell, and
Same.
I am not saying my whole ass government name on this
No,
podcast.
they don't need to know our information.
So no, they'll be just fine.
Yeah.
And so, as per tradition,
What's your sign?
I'm a Libra.
Yep.
I don't know what that means.
Me
Nariba
either.
does.
I
Okay,
just-
well, she about to tell
Oh
you.
God.
I'm starting to believe in them though. The zodiac thing.
Listen. That's how they
starting
get
to.
you. I started off doing this as a statistics thing, because statistically, you could say anything to anyone, and it's gonna
Right.
touch them in a certain way, appropriately, hopefully. But for me, the energy of Libras are people who don't necessarily believe they are messy,
I'm totally not messy. I'm the complete opposite.
but I feel like you probably find yourself or surrounded by people who are messy, and you love watching other people's mess as long
Absolutely
as
not.
it's not
See?
yours.
Drama is no.
See,
I swear to God,
look at that.
All right.
Yeah.
no.
See.
Okay.
So the journey
You had me
continues.
excited too. She's gonna tell me about my life.
Oh no,
Wrong.
I'm not a psychic. I'm just saying.
Right?
But that's like, I mean, the like other part of Libras is like being super indecisive unless you know exactly what you want.
Factual.
And like personally, my experience of yes, y'all will let anyone in, and it's hard. Yeah, you listen. You want to see the best in people
for sure,
and that's why I'm saying you let anyone in. As an Aries,
Word.
I distrust everyone.
Word.
I don't let a single person in. I have 5 friends, and they rotate in and out depending on whether or not I like you
Damn,
enough.
sounds like a basketball team, right?
I try my best.
Seven
The
people out.
roster is real.
You know,
Seven
just
people out.
Well, sometimes you got to bench these people.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I don't
it's
have
true.
the emotional capacity to give a shit in a long period of time
That's real.
because I got mental health issues. But it's working in my favor so far. You know, people
Do
think
what
that
works
I'm
for
like
you.
mysterious, but I'm just an asshole. So
I may or may not be as well. At least
There
that's
you
what
go.
my mom told me a couple times.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
wait,
Mom.
okay.
Yeah, you're like, yeah.
Is
yeah.
your birthday like closer to the end of October or are you
Middle.
Yep.
And my mom's
Wait,
birthday's the day after
Middle?
Oh wow.
So like
So
close to
we're-
the 20th?
the 15th.
The 15th. Okay.
And my mom's is the 16th, and we're almost like the exact same person.
Well, you're probably mysterious because you're so close to like the beginning of Scorpio season.
Not at all.
Listen.
Open book.
Dang,
Are you
Yes.
Open book.
okay?
I'm here for it.
All right.
I love it. Yeah, I was just like,
Open book.
yeah. See,
All right, we're gonna figure that out in like 15 minutes.
Let's do
we're
it.
doing the whole, we're doing the whole damn journey. All right. So
I just want to tell everyone
Yeah.
out there in the world, I am not a professional.
it's okay.
Cool.
Clearly, because you were wrong twice. I'm sorry.
I'm just saying, statistically,
See?
you are an outlier. That's what it means. Also, it's not dictated by just your sun sign, your rising, your moon.
This is so much
Venus,
more than what
all
I know.
of it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
And I
most-
learned so much every single time we do this. I'm like,
Like
oh.
most people don't think that Justin is an Aquarius because he has his shit together in a very organized fashion for the most part. But he is an Aquarius.
There has been a few times where somebody will ask me my sign, I'll lie
Hell yeah.
and just go with it for like,
Yeah.
oh, I can tell because you XYZ.
Yeah, no.
And I just let them go on and on
Yeah.
and on. And then,
That's
like,
messy.
Maybe, you know what?
That is messy.
That is messy.
You're right. So
I was like,
I redact my statement. I stand corrected.
Right.
Maybe I am messy because I kind of like
I like
toying
that,
with
though.
the with
Exactly.
the people. That,
You're over here telling me no, wrong, and I'm like, it's gonna prove itself in the next 35 to 50 minutes. We're
that's
gonna learn.
hilarious.
no. So, yeah, I love how that just came.
You
came
just
full
circle, right? You
Yeah.
just read me.
I was,
Nice.
I was like, wait,
Nice.
hold on. So now we got that out of the way. Can you talk to us a bit about your background? And we're gonna get into everything that you're up to. So take it away. my
Sure.
man. Yeah. Who are you?
Well, I'm Jesse Stewart Jr. Just a little kid from South Side of Chicago. Currently, I'm the airport operations supervisor at O'Hare, so that's kind of like my thing.
Okay.
Really?
What does
yes.
that mean?
Hold up.
Ooh, it's a little difficult
Hold up.
to explain.
I am an absolute aviation freak. So
I used to be, not anymore.
but that's why I want to talk to you about that. Okay, so
Remember I was just
listen.
talking about the no sleep thing? That's why.
Yeah.
I just want
See.
to point
No.
out
Yes.
that
Oh my
Max
God.
and I made meaningful eye contact with each other when the words that just came out of Justin's mouth came out of his mouth. Bitch, what you mean you are an aviation enthusiast? This is like
Oh,
when
yeah,
we find out
absolutely.
you fucks with snakes knowledge.
Oh no,
like,
no, absolutely. Well, I mean,
Snakes on a plane!
Exactly.
Sorry, I had to
I was-
say it.
Yeah, Marcus is going to hate that part. But yes, no, yeah, no, I love everything about aviation.
Yeah, so my background is in aviation. I went to school for air traffic control.
Science.
No, not really science. Sure. I've been wrong.
can't do
I've been
it.
wrong once already
no,
today.
no, no.
So you got it.
I'm just saying, to me, it's science because I could never.
I would say more
personally.
physics. Well, aviation
Physics
is more
is science.
physics. Yeah, you're right. Here we go. I am not on point this morning.
Oh my God.
Clearly not on point. But yeah, I went to school for air traffic control, have a degree in that. And I've been in this role for 8 years. So that's my background. I don't have any hospitality or spirits industry experience besides a whiskey brand, which is a little different than most people. Most people,
Oh my God, you make whiskey?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Just
it's decent, rather decent.
It's just like
It's rather decent.
I think it is a lot more than that.
Yeah.
But we'll give it grace. So it's all good there. So I'm still stuck on this like ATC thing. So
I'm not a controller.
Oh no, it's okay.
But
yeah.
We work very closely with air traffic control,
you be-
especially
yeah, you be
during the
knowing
winter
shit.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. Like all of it.
It's a cool job.
Yeah.
Really cool job. I'm just not like an aviation junkie like I used to be. Yeah, I mean, it's
Fair.
work. It pays my mortgage and supports my kids. So
Yeah. Well, there was, way back when I was bartending at a brewery on the north side, and I was always there Friday and Saturday day. My God. And so I had these amazing regulars that would show up on Fridays, just take up my entire bar for literally the entire shift. And what was so great is I got to know them extremely well, naturally, right? But there was this one gentleman specifically. He said something about a damn airport, and I was like, I love an airport. Like, and then we win this whole thing. He's like, oh, I'm in air traffic control. That dude not locked in. It didn't matter who was around. I was like, you got to tell me this, you got to tell me that. And he's like, safest place like to fly is like this country, like all of this with the regulations. And I was like, you know what? That makes me feel even better for acting like a goddamn child when I'm at the airport.
No, it's
because
the
I don't get
safest- it's the safest means of
stressed at the
travel.
airport at all. I'm just like, I'm so stoked to be here because we're not even supposed to be up there. Okay.
Right.
And as black people, we already know the shit that
my God,
we
you're
ain't
black?
supposed to do. Stop it right now.
Crazy.
Okay. I was like, no. I'm just like, because now you're just trying to provoke the mess. Okay.
I just looked at my skin like thinking that there was a camera on
Well,
me.
no, but
yeah.
the people don't
Yeah, I
know
Yeah.
Of
that
African
we're
American
about to be
descent.
like talking about this black-owned business. So I'm trying to
And
like
Black
put the
History
hype out
Month
there.
is coming up.
Damn
so-
right.
Absolutely. So
Yeah.
for sure. So I was like, I like that segue.
Yeah, so back to about me.
Yeah.
Because it's about me, not just
Yes,
kidding.
absolutely.
But yeah, so-
MESS1.
Yeah.
I know you asked my
Yes.
background, so my background is in aviation. I guess a little bit about the brand. The brand is named Alexander James after my son. That's his first and middle name.
Awesome.
Alexander is his maternal grandfather's last name, and James is his paternal great-grandfather's first name.
Okay.
So that's how we got his name.
Sandwich.
The brand was inspired by both of my grandfathers, Jesse and James. They were as thick as thieves because my parents were high school sweethearts. So those guys they were best friends for a long time. They were both vets, both from Arkansas, and both really big whiskey drinkers. So those guys would get
And you
together.
know we talking about Arkansas.
Yes, we
because
did. We got to get to that.
Yes, exactly.
Shout out to Arkansas.
Yes,
Shout out to
absolutely.
Pine Bluff, Dumas, all
That's
of
the
that.
first time I've ever heard someone say shout out to Arkansas.
Yeah.
You know, I had to because
I mean, no.
Yeah.
I had to.
Yeah.
just saying.
Forest City,
Absolutely.
Arkansas, and Dumas, Arkansas. But
I'm throwing in Helena, Arkansas.
shout out to
in there as
Helena.
well.
Shout out to Delta Dirt Distillery.
Yeah, ain't nobody in Helena listening to this. Promise. Okay.
You know what? I'm going to send it to
Okay,
the guys at Delta Dirt, and they're going to put on.
Okay,
Those are my
okay.
guys.
Okay, well,
shout out to Delta Dirt Distillery.
There we go. I wasn't referring to them. I was talking about like
Just
all
in
the people
general.
I know. So I was just like,
We're going to try to figure out how to get it to her.
yeah, no, it's a new demographic. We're gonna figure it out. You know, they are very supportive.
We're
but,
breaking
you know,
into markets.
Yeah.
But
So, yeah.
my grandfathers were best friends, and when they would get together, they would share all of our family's history and stories over a glass of whiskey. And one day I was drinking with those guys and thought, you know what? I'm gonna make my own whiskey brand, and I'm gonna name it after my kid. And it kind of that's how I got into the spirits industry.
That is Libra energy.
Is it
I said it, I did it. That's it.
BLE, Big Libra energy?
Yep.
There we go. I was like, all right. And so that kind of like connection to, you know, heritage and ancestry, I think that's really, really important because the memories that I have growing up in Helena, Arkansas, I never saw my grandfather have any sort of alcohol. My grandmother never, like, I just, because since we spoke, I was like racking my brain, being like, I think so. But could never tell you when.
Wow.
Ever. And so when I think of, you know, my background and growing up specifically in that area of the South, my grandfather used to take so much pride in growing sunflowers. And it was like the talk of the town. Like John Henry,
That's dope.
man couldn't touch when it came to sunflowers.
That's dope.
And it means so much to my family, because anytime we see one, it's just like a call back home. You know, like it's really, really beautiful. So I love that connection over, you know, just remembering where you came from, while also like kind of cheersing where you're at and where you're going.
Right. Yeah. We had some crazy stories over whiskey.
We had some crazy ass stories over sunflowers, dog.
But
Shit
like
was wild.
the story of how my dad, the Stewart family came to came to Chicago from Arkansas. It's nuts. I don't really know if I should talk about that story on air. I mean,
you.
Long story short, to my knowledge, a Caucasian gentleman did something to one of my aunts. And I guess they're all dead anyways. Now, like as my great grandfather, to my knowledge, how I remember the story my grandfather saying is something happened with a Caucasian person doing something to one of my aunts, and my great grandfather and his brother handled it, and they had to leave Arkansas.
Damn.
And this
Sometimes it be
was
that way.
like in the maybe 1950s or something like that, and that's how we came to Chicago.
Fair enough.
But something
yeah.
like that was like, now we've had really funny stories. Both of my grandfathers were Vietnam vets, so they had the complete opposite experiences. One was a Purple Heart, and the other one was like, man, I was over there chilling. Like I really didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
But like we had like really cool, funny stories. My dad burned down my grandparents' basement when he was a kid.
Okay.
Like all of that type of stuff came over
my
whiskey.
gosh.
But we also got
Yeah.
the serious stuff too. So it was a
Just
cool
the
balance.
basement? Because
No,
it
I'm
seems
sorry.
like at the
He burned down the house.
No,
Sorry,
he burned down
Dad.
the house.
That's
I
what I'm
was
saying.
like,
I'm like, how you burn down the basement?
So I
without
told
the
my
rest of
son
the
that
house?
my grandmother told my son that story not too long ago, and he was like, he calls my dad Paz.
How old
He's
is
like,
your son?
5, and he was like, Paz, I heard you burned grandma's basement. You burned the house down.
Oh my
and he's just
gosh.
like, oh, child, you heard that story, huh?
Yeah, and now I'm
But
coming to you.
Everything
to
good,
verify.
good and bad was just over a glass of whiskey. So I thought that was really cool and really special, and I think a lot of African Americans learn their lineage, kind of like Alex Haley with the roots thing. Like it might be in a different way, but my family, it was told over like sitting at the bar in my grandparents' basement drinking.
Yeah. Well, I mean, just to kind of go deeper into that specifically, those experiences exist within Black and brown communities because there are systems and, you know, just real bad shit that tries to erase your identity and make it a lot more difficult to access your own history. So that is a way of reconnecting to yourself
Right.
through sharing it, how it happened, and how the people that experienced it truly felt.
Right. And the reasoning for starting the brand too is I wanted to encourage people to also, you know, whether it's over a glass of Alexander James or something else, just like sit down with your family and friends and talk. I'm a millennial. So of course the phone thing, we have our phones, we record everything, but just take a moment to be with your family and friends and just like enjoy the moment, talk.
I was literally
Just,
talking
like,
about
talk.
this in therapy this week, about how like you need to take the time to have conversations with your elders because like my dad passed away when I was a teenager, and now I'm like, I feel like I don't know him in a very specific way because we don't talk about him due to family shit.
Right.
And the only person I could talk to him about is my mom, and I don't want to do that because she was hurt by a lot of the shit that
Trauma.
he did. So it's like I would say take the time to like know people and ask their stories while they're still with us, because then you're getting secondhand information from everyone else, and I don't trust bitches.
But yeah, that was my reason for starting the brand. I wanted to leave a legacy, obviously, for my son, and hopefully it's something I can leave for him. and my daughter.
Yeah.
And
You got 2 kids?
I do.
Yeah.
Alexander and Harper.
How old is
my
Harper?
gosh.
Harper J is 2 years old.
Okay.
And
yes.
we
Precious.
wrapped around
You didn't
her.
even pull out a single fucking picture.
Oh, that's
Disrespect.
easy. That is easy.
I'm out here trying to learn about
These are my
everyone's pets and
babies.
children.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
Look at that face.
Marcus
My
is gonna love all this
babies.
screaming in the mic.
And then I'm learning that my
Maybe he
my
should-
daughter looks just like my great grandmother.
Oh.
My great grandmother, Mary Lou Stewart.
Okay.
Yep.
If we're gonna be doing that,
The names.
yes.
Yeah.
Then hold up. Okay. Because my mom has always told me, and I know that she meant it in the most sentimental way.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, you look like your grandfather when you're sleeping, and I was like, girl. I don't think so. But as I got older, I was like, you know what? That's actually a really
It's
beautiful
accurate.
testament.
Yeah.
And, shout out to John Henry. Rest in peace. And then also...
That's a very powerful name.
Oh, that man was not playing, okay? He did everything for his family. And the number one thing I want to mention about my grandfather is that he, as a grown-ass man, was never afraid to tell you how much you meant to him.
That's dope.
Ever.
That's super dope.
Yeah, like such a
Especially during
beautiful
that
example.
time.
Exactly. Such
That's
a
not-
beautiful, beautiful example. And, you appreciate it later on, and you realize how impactful that was. But then also, we had my grandmother, Lois Dean Blue, who was amazing. However,
these
she was
Right.
She was
I love it.
quiet.
My great grandfather, his name was Booker T. So it was Booker T and Mary Lou. And I
Everyone's
heard
just
Booker T.
making shit up now.
No, I'm not. And the whiskey stories of him,
Yeah.
the stories I've heard about him off the whiskey,
Yeah.
forget about it.
See, I
Probably can't talk about that.
Okay, I was just like, editing's a powerful tool.
But
You
no,
don't even
but no, it's the
Hugging my
cool thing
family.
of like,
It's crazy.
yeah, names are crazy. But Harper J, like I
Beautiful.
said, Alexander James kind of has like a rhyme and reason behind his name, but Harper J, it has such a beautiful flow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have something special for her coming out probably this year. That's not a whiskey.
Oh my.
Wink, wink.
Okay,
I don't know
so
if I should be talking.
it doesn't feel like we're getting the exclusive, but we're getting
Totally,
the pre-exclusive to
yeah.
the.
Yeah, y'all trying some of my 5-year bourbon that's not out yet. So I said, forget it. Why not just?
I'm like, might as well.
Because I rock with y'all.
You
I
know,
like
see,
this. This is dope.
I was like, the feeling is oh so mutual. But also, quick question before. But, yeah, it is a question because I'm like, or is it more so of a segue? It really doesn't matter because I'm going to ask it. So with your background, do you identify as a Black entrepreneur?
100%.
Okay, because the reason-
it's just me.
Okay,
Like, I
because the
don't
reason
have-
why I asked
it's
that
just me.
is
And I'm black.
because
Ain't no way around
sometimes
it.
for
My
sure.
hair a little
You're like
nappy.
ain't nowhere. You're like
My
ain't
nose a
nowhere.
little, you know
Ain't
what I
nowhere.
mean?
Yeah, well, it's funny because sometimes people would be like, oh, like this is my side hustle. Like
It's another full-time job.
Awesome.
I have
Okay.
3 full-time jobs. I'm
Yeah.
an airport operations supervisor. I'm a father.
Okay.
And I
Yeah.
am the founder and CEO of Alexander James Whiskey. And I do all 3. And I think I'm doing a decent job at it.
amazing, absolutely amazing. I was just like, okay. I was like, I just had to ask.
I mean, yeah.
Because sometimes people are just like, oh, I just do this when I'm bored late at night, and I was
Nah.
like, but it don't taste like that. So I was like, this is fire. So
Thank you.
By the way, cheers. Thank
Cheers.
you. Of course. Great.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or as they say in the furniture, I'm not doing it.
Thank you.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. We're in season 4. I don't have to do it. I have to do it. So let's talk a bit about some of the challenges of starting Alexander James Whiskey. Like, yeah.
So my mom is going to get mad at me because she was like, well, it's not realistic to say that you really haven't had any struggles. When I tell you this has been one of the smoothest things I've ever done in my life,
Oh, wow.
it has not really been any challenges. I want to say the hardest thing is kind of trying to get certain accounts to kind of buy in because it
Yeah.
is new. I'm not backed by a big conglomerate. I don't have I started this with like cash.
Yeah.
It's not like I have investors or anything else.
Yeah.
I guess the challenge would be just like trying to get into certain accounts that I really enjoy.
Yeah.
And a lot of times they're skeptical, and then they try it, and then they hear the story, and then they see, my following and the reception behind when people try it.
Right.
It's like, oh, let's get this guy a chance. And
Right.
then it's lucrative for both sides. So,
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Everything that he just said is big Libra energy in the way that he just said it. You know,
So the
and
Libra's
there was,
just here to
there was
find
no
those
real
milestones for
challenges.
Libra energy.
I was
Yeah.
just like, I'm going to do it. And then I did it. And now I'm just trying to like get to where I need to be. But usually it's a little hard. But then once they have it, they're in it. And I'm like,
the
bang,
biggest
bang,
challenge
boom.
the biggest challenge was starting. Like the biggest challenge was me just finding the balls to do it. And when I was very skeptical about it, and I was really inquiring it and kind of on the fence about it because I am indecisive, as much Libras are, John Basile Tequila. I'm really cool with one of the owners of John Basile, and I reached out to him. They were just getting started up. I'm like, hey, man, I really want to do this whiskey brand.
Yeah.
What's to it? And he tells me, it's nothing to it, just do it. And it literally, that was literally the like final push that I needed to just do my research and kind of just get into it. So shout out to John Basile Tequila. They forever have a special place in my heart. Really good tequila and just amazing guys.
So I'm not trying to get to like your secrets for the brand.
Secrets.
Because I like the number one thing that just popped in my head. It's just like, well, where the hell do you start?
So
because I don't feel like a
3
lot
a.m.
of brands actually talk about like
how they started
it's-
for sure.
Yeah.
I told you earlier, I'm very transparent. I'm an open book. At 3 a.m., I cold emailed maybe 100 distilleries across the country. Only 3 of them got back to me. One of them happened to be in Mount Prospect, distillery called Two Eagles, and one of the owners, his name was Jesse.
Okay.
So he emailed me back like, hey, you can stop by the distillery. We can talk. I'll let you try some stuff. And I'm like, oh, well, I'll slide after work one day. I get off work at 8 a.m.
Right.
And his name is Jesse. My name is Jesse. I'm like, oh, that's a little weird. It's spelled the same way.
Yeah.
Pull up, meet him. We're talking. Tell him about my vision. My son's name is Alexander. His son's name is Alex. So I'm like, all right, that's a little weird.
He's
That's
actually
a little
very
weird.
kismet. Yeah,
He's
kismet.
actually
weird.
a skinwalker and was going to
Little
eat
weird.
you and then
I'm
take
like,
your life.
all right, cool.
Yeah.
But we talked about everything but whiskey and business that first day.
Yeah.
Where it just felt it felt right. Like, all right, you know what? Let's see what's up. And he bought into my vision, and he believed in me, and I believed in what they had to offer.
Right.
And that's how that partnership started. And that's literally how I started. Me cold emailing about 100, 115 distilleries at 3 a.m. and only 3 of them got back to me. And one of them told me no.
Damn. Yeah, I mean,
I love
but no one
people who
talks
just, like,
about
no.
that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like, oh, like, I linked up with this person.
I do this
and
thing
then all of a sudden we, riding motorcycles through a fucking agave field on the side of trucks.
Nah, that's
I'm just
literally.
like, that's not how it
I was
started,
up my brain around that time of morning for whatever reason, because I do work nights. That's when all my ideas hit. Like 2-3 a.m.
I mean, I'd be
My notes
up
in my
the middle of
phone
the
is
night, so yeah.
insane. Like I have so much stuff planned out in my phone, but if I look at my notes and you look at the time, guarantee you it's like 2-3 a.m.
Oh yeah, I'd be emailing everybody at that time. Sometimes texting them as well. They're like, I just saw this at this time, and I was like, well, because it was on my mind.
Right, I got to
and
get
now
it out.
it's done.
You got to
Yeah.
get your ideas out.
Yeah, I'm like, and now it's done, and this
You
is.
have to get
this
your
is where
ideas
we go.
out. It's not doing you any good in your
I'm
brain.
having no thoughts at 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm probably trying to figure out why I'm not sleeping.
Yeah, I mean that's.
Well, people like me, I mean, I'm a little different. Like,
He's
I
built
don't
different.
sleep.
Yeah.
And
I
it's
don't-
not good. I don't encourage that.
Yeah,
The whole
no.
like
Oh, yeah, no.
sleep where no.
No.
Please get your rest. If you
Oh, for sure.
if you have the
After
opportunity
this
to
is done
rest,
today, I'm going to bed.
please do.
Same.
Yeah.
I do not encourage it at all. I kind of do it because I have to, but please get your rest. It's not healthy. It's not sustainable.
Not at all.
Please get your rest. It's nothing cool about the whole.
I just leveled up
No
to
sleep
6
thing.
hours of sleep. Like,
Yeah,
I
that's
used to be
lit.
like a 3-hour bitch, and now I am like, I can sleep for 6 hours. And if I can sleep more than 6 hours,
golden.
golden.
Yeah, I just need 4. If I get anything more than 4, Did y'all see how I walked?
Well,
in
you
here
have
today?
children.
Oh yeah, I mean,
I got 8 hours of sleep last night.
I was like,
Yeah.
you got
I
kids
had
though.
8 hours of sleep.
You know,
You had a bounce in your step as soon as you
Man,
walked in.
I have
I was
not-
like,
I feel-
good
I was
morning.
prepared to be mad at you.
Yeah,
when you came in all happy and
I'm
shit.
sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's my fault.
Well, I hope I can exude some of this energy on you.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's not working.
I'm feeling wide awake. So
I'm gonna take a
I'm
nappy
just-
nap.
Well, I'm just like, I'm like, we'll be here, so
I mean,
it's
yeah.
all good. But
yeah, that's how that was my
Great.
way in.
Awesome. So from that support and, element of mentorship, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what are some additional examples of the Chicago community or just local community been supporting you and the brand and, kind of showing up?
Sure. I know a lot of people in the city. I have a big support system, my family, friends, and they have a big support system. So the support is crazy. With me
Awesome.
being from Chicago, and when people find out this is a local brand by a black man, they eat that up, and then the product, they seem to like it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
They seem to
absolutely.
like
that's
what I'm
really,
doing.
it kind of makes it a little easier
Delicious.
to
I'm
kind of
here for
sell
this.
it
Yeah.
to people. But support has been crazy. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the store Leaders 1354.
No.
They've been around. It's a black-owned store. They started in Hyde Park 22 years ago now. And Diego and Corey are like my big bros, they're my mentors, and they both drink whiskey. So it was cool to like just pull up on them whenever I go to the shop. I'll bring a bottle, and then their word of mouth and their network is crazy. It's huge.
Yeah.
And they show love. So it's just like the word of mouth
Right.
kind of helps me trying to kind of spread my brand and my product around the city, and people support it because like it'll be people that went to high school. My parents are high school sweethearts, as I stated, and it'll be people on
Precious.
Facebook. My parents will post like, "Oh, my son is doing a tasting at Mariano's in Oakland," and it'll be people pull up like, "Oh, I went to high school with your mom and dad. I haven't seen them in 15 years, but we're Facebook friends, and I want to come support you." It's like that's dope. These people haven't seen my parents probably since the 80s, and they came out to support me because they know that I'm Sabrina and Jesse's son.
Yeah.
So it's dope, man. It's super cool.
Yeah. Well,
That's a bourbon.
No, that's a rye.
No. What's in the glass is a bourbon. He thought he was topping off the same one. Yeah. Yikes.
Well, I mean, it's some bourbon over here on the floor next to my foot. That's the 5-year Alexander James bourbon.
See,
that's
I was
not
like, there we go.
released
I'm
yet.
like, there we go.
Well, listen,
like,
I'm
But the rye that he just poured just won double gold in Vegas at the Proof Award.
Say that. Yes,
Okay, this is the thing. This is the thing, though. I was like, I am not a bourbon bitch. I'm a rye bitch. That's why I was like, let me switch it out
Let's
so I
get
can
it.
say complimentary things.
Yeah, let's get it and tell me what you think. That's my favorite of the bunch, by the way.
See?
Yes.
we
Okay,
go.
so this is my controversial thing. I don't like things that are sweet, and bourbon is just so sweet, and I can't like it. The way that it hits my mouth, I'm just like, this is not for me.
But my
rye,
bourbons are higher rye because I love rye.
Yeah.
I'm a rye
Yeah.
whiskey fan.
I'm
I
a
wanted
rye
to drop
bitch.
my rye first, but I'm like, nah, it's a bourbon thing going on. I need to drop the bourbon first.
Right.
But no, the rye is my jam. Like,
Yeah, it is
I love rye.
quite tasty.
Everything. Yep.
Well, and also, just me personally, I enjoy all of these, but that 4-year, I don't feel like it's very sweet. That's just me personally. So, but yeah, I'm here for it. And also, just quickly back into community support. I think it's great that it was a very organic play.
Very
right?
much so. That was
You know?
very strategic on my end. I didn't pay for any marketing my first 2 years because I'm a boots on the guy kind of guy. Like I literally, for the most part, do all my tastings. I have one employee, Justin. Shout out to Justin Glass. That's my guy.
What? Yes, shout out to Justin.
He's literally.
Oh my
it's
God.
just,
Yes,
it
please.
started off
Yeah.
just me. Like I did
Yeah.
everything, and now Justin has been a tremendous help for me. But it's just us two, like boots on the ground, doing tastings. Yeah, it's just very organic. I didn't want to pay for marketing. It's easier to put the bottle in somebody famous hands or like. Now I want this to be like you like this because you like it,
Yes.
not because you saw somebody with it. You're gonna buy this because you really enjoy what's in the bottle, or you buy into the story or
I like
whatever have
that.
it. Like I want to be very approachable, and I pray to always be this way. Like, I don't want this to be mainstream or commercial. Like, that's
Well,
it's
no,
cool
also-
from
you
a
just
financial
put your foot in
standpoint.
your mouth
Yeah,
when you're
well-
like, I don't want this to be mainstream. It's gonna, you can't
But
say.
it'll be organically mainstream.
Well,
like
because-
it's gonna pop. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, because then
But
you're
I can
retaining
still
the
be
integrity
real.
of the
Exactly.
brand.
Exactly.
That's it. I can't
Yeah.
fake the funk. I can't do something that's not real.
No,
It has to be organic.
Has to
I
be
hate
with it.
I hate the word like. I don't want to say I hate the word organic, but
I do
it's the
too.
only way to explain it. Like I'm
Yeah.
gonna keep it funky at all times.
that natural
Yeah.
growth.
Yes,
see, I was
because
like,
it's relatable to everybody. It like even the story behind the brand. Somebody can relate. Whether you have a kid, you had a grandparent, or you drink whiskey. Like somehow, some way, it's going to tie into you and your story. And that's real. I don't have to lie about my story. It's literally named after my kid. It was literally inspired by my grandparents. They were literally best friends. Like it's I don't have to sell anybody anything.
Yeah,
And that's
because you've lived it.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, and you continue
it's no
to
stretch.
live it.
I don't have
Exactly,
to I don't
yeah.
have to do anything. That's why I can literally talk naturally about it without it. I don't have to think. It's just talking.
I'm
Just vibes.
like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, absolutely.
BLE, big lever.
You know,
or BL,
yeah,
BL,
BLB. So
BLV. I can't talk.
I know.
Boulevard.
I'm off the AJ early.
Oh my
You're
God.
good. So I'm really interested in hearing a bit about the navigation between preserving tradition in, whiskey making as it has been versus your approach to it.
Sure.
But also there's still tradition in it.
For sure.
But it's your tradition.
With me being young, me being from Chicago, me being black, my perspective on everything is a little different than probably the rest of the whiskey world.
Yeah.
There's some really good whiskeys out there. I'm not gonna name drop them because they would never name drop me.
Yeah.
But they've done some good stuff. Shout out to them because they're the reason why I got into whiskey. But I purposely want to do things that are like not traditional. Like for instance, this will be my 3rd Black History Month. Every year I release a limited edition Black History Month bottle.
Oh yeah.
Limited to 100 bottles. And once they sell out, I'll never repeat that bottle design. And that's something that I don't think I've never seen that. So I'm like, why not?
Never
I'm
heard
a
of
sneaker guy.
that. Yeah.
And I'm like, that's how a lot of sneakers are. Once they're sold out, that's it. It's
That's
over
it.
with.
Yeah. Then
So I'm
then
like,
you
I'm
find it
gonna pull that
somewhere,
approach to, making a limited edition bottle. And my first 2 bottles, I did them only at Matson Liquors, and I think I did Matson Liquors, Armanetti Liquors, and Kimbark, which used to be black owned.
Okay.
And the second year, the GM at Kimbark called me. They opened up, I think, at like 10 or 11. He was like, bro, where are you at? People are lined up outside for this bottle. I was like, for me?
yeah.
They lined up for me? But little things like that is kind of like, nah, I'm going to do this my way. I'm going to do this the non-traditional way.
So I really like that because I have always made this joke to where it's just like black people will line up for sneakers, white people will line up for beer
Starbucks
releases
on Michigan Avenue.
and beer releases. Okay,
Right.
like
It's the same thing. It's just a
around the
cultural
corner.
thing.
Exactly. It
but
is
guess
a cultural
what? I got
thing.
black people and white people lined up for bottles. What's up?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm talking shit. But
No, but also, I mean, I worked at one of the most popular breweries in this state, if not just the country in general. Like
when they
a
do
top.
them special drops, people be lined up, rain, sleet, or
and
snow.
I can tell you exactly who they are because I was interacting with them for years. And
But that adds fun and excitement to the industry as a whole.
yeah, that
It's a little
does.
obviously when you're working there, it's stressful.
Yeah.
But I think it's cool, man. And I think that's dope.
Yeah, I love the support. It's not the same support as someone that looks like me,
Right.
Yeah.
Because there was rarely anyone like me in that line.
But that's why you do the limited edition Black History Month bottle.
Well, that's what I was getting
And the
at. So I
Juneteenth
was
bottle
just
that I
like,
dropped last year that went crazy.
see,
Yeah.
we need to continue this conversation off mic because I want to talk more about that.
Yeah, for sure. So real quick, I'm gonna just throw this in there.
Yeah.
Obviously, with Black History Month being coming up soon, I am doing another 100 bottles.
Yeah.
But I'm Chicago through and through. Everything I do is for Chicago. When I go out of town, I make sure I'm wearing something Chicago related. I am another exclusive. Y'all getting all the good stuff.
You know what?
But I'm dropping 300
Listen,
limited edition
we're not
Chicago
even saying
bottles
anything.
in March.
300?
Oh, really?
300.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
It's lit. Bottle is crazy.
Okay.
I hinted at it on my Instagram a couple of times. I'm letting the hype die down a little bit, and then I'm just going
And then
Oh my God.
boom in March.
then you're gonna light that match.
Boom.
Okay. All right.
So I know I could sell
mean,
100 bottles in a day. Now I want to see if I can do 300 bottles
It's
in
a
a day.
smart
Yeah,
move also
you
for
can.
March because,
Absolutely.
you know,
So
Chicago's local favorite holiday.
I'm also March 4th is the day Chicago was incorporated. So that's the date that I think I'm going to drop it.
I never knew that.
And it's like a Monday or a Tuesday, but I don't care because that date is very special to the
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
Because the world is nothing without Chicago. I'll fight about it. I'll throw hands about
Yeah.
it.
I mean, these are facts because I mean,
No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to fight anybody, but Chicago is the best city in the
it's
world.
literally Chicago over everything. So I mean, yeah. And the Reaper's like, well, I don't know about that.
I ain't
but-
saying shit.
Where
I'm
you
a
from?
foreigner. I'm from Trinidad. Trinidad and Tobago.
Where you at
Where am I at what?
right now?
I mean, I'm in Chicago, but also I will go on record and say that
I'm just being
everyone in
silly.
America is trying to get the fuck out of America, so y'all can
Word.
hype up
It is-
Chicago.
it is a little
I love
bit-
Chicago.
it's a
I
little
live
messed up
here,
right now.
but I would never go out on a
I
limb
was
and
being
be
silly.
like,
I'm sorry.
"This is the best." I don't say anything is the best. You know why? Because then the internet tells you that you're wrong.
No,
It's
we-
like these
we got
are
statistics,
1,000
though.
He
facts.
said we have
That's like-
statistics.
I'm
Well, okay,
delusionally
so-
like Chicago. I argue with my friends from New York.
Delulu.
Oh,
Lululemon.
I mean,
Hey.
Chicago is better than New York. That's just a
Totes.
fact.
Totes.
It's also better than Boston. That's just a fact.
Boston. Hey, Boston.
we got
can't see
listeners
my
in
face right
Boston.
now.
Yeah.
We do. We have a lot of listeners in Boston because I grew
Now,
up on
Boston
the East
is
Coast.
dope.
Is it?
Yeah.
I went to elementary
New Balance.
school.
I have
there.
on New Balances right now.
I was gonna
they're based
say
in
when you said
Boston.
I
Shout out to
was
Joe
sneaker
Fresh Goods.
dude,
These are
and I looked
these
down
are Joe
and
Fresh
there's like
Goods.
Yes.
Chicago.
I know that they're
Yes,
special.
yes.
Chicago.
I know these are special.
Shout out to Joe.
But I looked down and I saw that and I was like,
Yep.
them's dad shoes.
These are Joe Fresh Goods. These are Joe Fresh. These are not. These are Joe Fresh Goods.
She tried it.
She
yeah,
did.
she tried it.
And
She tried it.
listen,
Joe has a mural on the wall over here.
That is correct. Yes.
Come on, what are we talking about?
listen.
Joe is. Oh, come on.
I said, and I'm just gonna go ahead. Marcus is going to highlight this. All I said was, you said you're a sneaker dude, and I
Oh,
looked
totes.
down, and
You saw
all
the-
I saw is
you
the
saw the-
end.
the
and I
sick-
was like, those are
these
New
trail
Balance.
shoes. Yeah, New Balance trail shoes. Whenever I do anything where somebody's gonna take a picture or something, I'm gonna have something Chicago related on. I have a White Sox fitted hat
Yeah.
on right now. If I had a haircut, I probably wouldn't have a hat, but I would still wear some kind of sneaker or clothing item from Chicago.
Yeah.
Everything.
I respect that uniform.
Whenever
Yeah.
I go anywhere, especially out of state,
That is
I
such
am
a
wearing
Chicago thing.
something Chicago.
I mean, they rep it pretty hard here.
We
I mean,
do.
you
We
know.
have to.
Chicago go
We're all we
hard.
got.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like
We are delusional for sure.
I mean, I just
For sure.
I just always say
For sure.
Delululemon, you know.
But
I
we
was like,
have
that works,
facts
yeah.
and statistics to back our delusional. Us being delusional.
Delusion.
Delusion.
Yes.
Off the AJ.
Yeah, I was like, you know what? I'm like reviving, so it's all good. So
I'm just coming for people all morning. I'm not saying
I mean, you're
shit, but
coming
I'm
in
like,
hot
I hope I
right
don't
now.
get canceled today.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
you'll be
listen.
just
Before I
fine.
started.
you
You
ain't
You'll
gonna
be
get
just
canceled
fine.
today.
I was
Shout out
like,
to
damn.
Boston.
Yeah. Shout out to
I
Boston.
mean-
New York.
Yeah, like you know,
Listen.
they're coming hard.
Chief Keef
I have a lot
literally
of friends
dissed New
and
York
family
or New
listening.
Jersey in the song.
Oh
Yo,
well, you know
I
that
went to high school in New
goes in a
Jersey. Fuck New
whole
Jersey.
That's
different,
crazy.
yeah, whole
And it
different
didn't
direction.
register until the other day. I saw something and it like the video resurfaced.
listen.
I'm like, damn, he really did that. That's shout out to New Jersey too. I don't no smoke with y'all.
I mean,
I want smoke with New Jersey. I went to high school there. It's garbage.
What
So
high
the
school did you
town
go
that
to?
I live, Orange High School in Orange, New Jersey.
What basketball player came from Orange?
I'd be shocked if she knew. that.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
sports ball.
Is DeJuan Wagner from Orange?
You listen. Do I look?
You really don't know?
Like
I'm a sports fanatic too.
I am
so.
not a sports person. I play sports. I'm
What
like
sport did you
very.
play?
I played tennis. I did softball. I did rugby, and
Word.
I did dance.
That's
for
very
like 10
East Coast
years.
rugby. I ran track in college.
I don't run for anything except
Neither.
for my life.
I don't run anything but my mouth.
Well,
I do that too.
yeah, I was like, it's just
That's-
you gotta get
You
the
can't take me
miles
to be
and,
active right now.
I'm like,
Sorry, I'm.
No,
no, you're
good.
good. So
this is accurate. This is on brand for us, actually.
I'm also really interested to hear.
Are we a black-owned business?
Yes.
Yeah, because you are. Hey, look at
What,
that.
but what are
real-
you? You don't
I
consider
mean,
yourself black?
Yes, I am black.
Because I was gonna say when you took the ACT, what you checking about? That's.
Oh my God.
I just had this conversation with somebody the other day. Whatever you checked in a box on the ACT is what you. And it is. I love all people. I have friends that are from every race, every culture. I was raised that way. But some people are a little confused. Like, I don't know what to put. What did you check on the ACT or SAT? We took the ACT in Chicago.
Yes.
What did you check in the box?
Yeah.
That's what you are.
Oh God.
Just go with that.
I have never heard that before, but I'm definitely here for it.
That's a good way to say it, right?
Yeah, I mean,
What do you identify as? What did you check on the box on your
and,
ACT?
oh my God! And also, I'm just enough of an asshole to say that, and and
I love
provoke
it.
a smile.
I love it.
So
I love it.
It's just like, and like what? But that was a very great
It
question.
never. Listen, it literally just registered to me because everything, I understand this, like, business-wise, everything is a business.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like, we do so much joyful things here that I forget sometimes that technically this is a business. And
But no,
Justin
that's
owns this
so
business,
good.
so
That's
this
so
is a
good, though.
black-owned
When you don't look
business.
at it like that, that makes things just organic. That's the word.
right.
Organic.
Right.
Shout out to Larry
Y'all-
June. Y'all listen
Two
to
of
Larry
y'all are
June?
just like, boop.
Well, it's also really, really interesting because sort of that late night shit. It's just like burning the midnight oil. So hopefully it doesn't feel like a business.
No, it should.
It's just like because it should feel fun and engaging and
that's your
dynamic and all of
business.
the things.
But it makes it so much better when you can
Right.
do it that way.
Right,
For sure.
because then I'm like all of the other shit, ain't nobody gotta see that. It's just like you're gonna get an email from this person, you're gonna have to send this form, you're gonna have to like verify this information. That's fine because that's the shit on this side.
Yeah.
To where it's just like, oh, come in, we drinking delicious product right now, hanging out, literally just vibing on the mic.
That sounds like the life to me.
That's what I'm saying. I was just like, because shit is wild out
Yeah.
here.
Word. And kind of with the whiskey thing,
Yeah.
I was a little nervous and skeptical, like, man, what if nobody likes it? I'm like, you know what? Fuck that.
Yeah.
Worst case scenario, nobody likes it, and I have whiskey to drink probably for the next 20 years. Whoa, rough life, right?
Right, yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very
That's
few
actually
people-
a really beautiful way
Yeah.
to
That
look at
was
it.
literally, it was, to me, it was high reward, low risk. Like I said, absolute worst case scenario, nobody likes it but me, my dad, and his best friend. And when we watch football on Sundays, we have infinite whiskey to drink.
And if it did go down like that, it would be like,
Happy Van Winkle.
Oh,
Nobody
yes,
was fucking with
you
it.
know what I mean?
I said I wasn't gonna
Like,
name
it
drop
would be-
anybody.
yeah,
But
we
that's
Literally
literally
was
that was
talking about that shit this
nobody
morning.
was rocking with it,
Yeah.
and now it's like mad hype.
Samuel L. Jackson said it once in an episode of Secret Invasion, and it literally went.
It's crazy, right?
Sales
You
went
see
out
how
the
that
window.
works?
Yeah. I hate that shit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. No comment.
It's
about it.
Yeah,
well,
but-
I think okay. So I think because I was
could
in
see
fine
like getting
dining.
an email from my attorney being like, let me verify that. And I'd be like, I don't know.
No,
But yeah.
to my knowledge, how that story went was it didn't sell great, and it kind of went away for a little bit, and then
No idea.
yeah, and somehow, some way, somebody
Samuel L. Jackson.
re-emerged it, and then now secondary market is $1,500 a bottle.
Well, and also,
So shout out to them.
Yeah,
That's
well, we
dope.
were. This was a couple recordings back, but so one of the things that we ended up touching upon is like, there is such a disconnect from the consumers to the actual reality of the hospitality industry. But so there's this idea, because you can go ahead and purchase certain things, or you have the buying power around certain things, it facilitates this level of privilege, right? But the honesty there is that the industry, like the servers, the bartenders,
the important people,
like the people that are actually making this industry go, have a ridiculous amount of access to what you could only imagine to get, because you're getting, we'll just use the prior example, for X amount of dollars, right? But it's just like, it is also sitting on a bar to where you're doing tastings of it. You're, benefiting from actually supporting these brands and so on and so forth. And so if people actually knew how close the industry is to the actual experience of said brands,
and success of.
Yeah, and
the
success of.
hospitality
they'd be
industry is
like, it would blow their minds.
Yeah.
It's just like, just because you can afford something that is at, $450 per, pour, or whatever the hell it is, it, that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Didn't
I've never.
Didn't we just
And
have
I've
a guest
never
that
had
said
to.
that? A guest who was like, I have drank more Pappy Van Winkle than most people who are connoisseurs of it just by being in proximity to it.
That is correct.
And that's the thing. It's like...
And we're not specifically talking about that brand.
Yeah, no.
I mean, it's supply and demand, it's hype.
Yeah.
And that's kind of why I did the bottle, because it's fun. It is fun. I'm not gonna lie. I get a little thrill. Like, I sold 100 bottles in a day.
It's
It's like an ego
Yeah.
thing. But it's also like my people support me. So it's
Yeah.
up, and I'm going to use that as leverage eventually down the line. Like, how many people can sell 100 bottles in a day with zero marketing dollars, with nobody backing them? What's up? It's either good or the bottle looks good, or both.
Right.
And it's probably both.
I mean
that
the juice
riser
is fire. So
Thank you. I appreciate
yeah,
that.
I was like, it's absolutely solid.
That makes me really happy to hear.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go ahead and
It's
call
very
it
humbling.
juice. I'll call it sauce.
Oh.
Is it mild sauce?
Do you want it to be mild sauce?
Nah.
I'm just saying.
I'm kind of hungry now.
It's
and
going to
Harold just
last.
popped in my head.
Right. I was like,
It's built to last.
but which Harold's though?
Ooh.
That's tough.
Yeah.
My go-tos are 14th in Michigan. That's a really good one. My parents went to high school with the owner. But that's not the only reason I go. It's always fresh. Sauce is always on point. So that one on 14th in Michigan. Shout out to James. 103rd and Halsted. And the one on 87th closed down, but they just opened up the new location.
Yes.
I had it. It was all right.
Yes.
It was all
Yeah,
right.
it's just all right.
Yeah.
But that was the one that I
was
used to
addicted
really
to Harold's.
enjoy.
At one point, I was eating Harold's once a week, every Wednesday or Thursday for not exaggerating, 7 months.
Listen, back in the
I've
day,
had
I used
Harold's
to
3
nail
times
some
in the
Harold's.
last
Okay,
6 months.
No.
And I'm
get my little
itching for it.
mystic. Get my little mystic.
What color? Blue.
Blue. Come on.
Man. That's my cousin.
Yeah, I was like, it's the whole thing. That's a wrap. That's easy. I was like, oh my
my
god.
cousin.
Yeah, I was like, what's up, cousin?
I might get Harold's when I leave here.
You're like, what? I'm thinking about it right now.
I have.
So,
I've only
and
eaten out
remember,
once
have
this
you
year.
had Harold's?
I have to cut back, but
Is a pig's pussy pork? It's crazy. Yes, I've had Harold.
making
what
sure.
really annoys me though,
because we're
people that
trying
are
to
not
leave
from
you
here,
out, but
Yeah.
they'll get the sauce on the side. I'm like, no, you have to get the sauce.
Listen,
get the sauce.
okay.
It's not
Yeah,
the same.
yeah. No.
If you plan on eating it within the 10 minutes of
on the
getting it,
side. It
sauce
wasn't-
on it is fine. But if you are going longevity,
No, it soaks in. You have to eat it soggy.
I don't want it soggy. I'm a texture bitch.
You're from Trinidad. You don't understand. I'm just
Listen,
I'm joking. Let me stop. Let me stop.
She
Before I get popped in the face. Yeah, let me chill. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna be nice.
Oh my!
I'm sorry.
She's like, let me tell you.
Am I being a Libra right now? That's why I said it.
Yeah, you are.
Messy,
Am I being messy?
Messy.
Literally.
I'm just trying to confirm all of your.
Yes.
All I'm saying is,
I'm here
Nah,
for
I
it.
feel you though. You don't
just
want
go
your,
online.
But I like cold food.
Look up Trinidad and Tobago
like
a little
cold
bit.
food?
I
Talk
eat cold
about it.
food.
Okay,
I am.
I don't know.
I'm not a cold food bitch.
I don't know.
I think that's a very American thing. Like cold food, sandwiches. Like you could tell that this country was built on people traveling across vast lands with nothing happening for a long time.
Yeah, I mean,
because
it was
my mom
literally-
used to wake up at the crack of ass in the morning and make me
Horses and
fucking fries. Huh?
I said, yeah, they were traveling the country on horses
Yeah.
and wagons and stuff.
I know. Trinidad's a
They
small
had
ass
to be
island.
Pack them PB&Js
you
up
know,
there.
You can just they weren't doing
I'm
PB and J
joking.
then.
That was
peanut
a
butter wasn't
joke.
invented for a minute.
By who?
I mean, everything
black
invented. Everything was
man.
invented by black people. Let's be real. That's where we came from. I'll fight you on that if you do not believe it.
I may not disagree with you.
Okay,
I
then.
mean, you know.
Especially, and
We
this
have
is
a
the
whole
double
thing that
down.
we're
I'm
gonna-
gonna put another little tidbit in there since we are This is probably gonna come out during Black History Month.
Towards the tail end.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yep.
everything that exists now did come from like the stem of everything comes from black people. But this is the thing. Black women will say something and then 3 years later, that is the mark. And it takes
We talked about this.
yeah, and it takes
Yeah.
like a long time for society to catch up with the needs. Well, for like the social standards to catch up with the needs of society. And I think that the reason that people feel so fucking crazy, specifically black women, is that we are having the thoughts way before it actually is going to come to fruition, and we are waiting for society to catch up with the needs that the lowest common denominator of society has.
That's fucked up.
That's
Yeah.
and that's like
Because
statistically
people
true.
already don't listen to women who are smarter than men. I mean, it's not even, there's no way around it. So to know that you're smarter than people and they don't listen to you.
Yeah, not be
and then
listened
to be
to
even
is wild as
specific enough
fuck.
to say a black woman. So you're
Right.
really not being listened to.
Right.
And to be dead on,
Right.
dead
Yeah.
balls accurate. That's a My Cousin Vinny reference. Like that has to be difficult. So shout out to
Yeah.
women, but specifically black women. Like that's tough.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and that makes me want to talk about just there's a lot of enthusiasm, there's a lot of passion, and there's a lot of artistry that goes into the brand, right? However, black-owned spirits only take up a minimal portion of the spirits industry
Yeah.
market.
Yeah.
Right? And there's a multitude of reasons for that, right? Like, I mean, there are significant portfolios, there are significant brands, there's just, you know, a
Resources.
lot of, resources, just the way that things exchange hands, right? And so I would like to hear your thoughts on any sort of navigation within that, right? Like, because just sitting down with you has been absolutely fantastic. However, you can't have these conversations with every single person every single time to help scale the business.
Right.
So have you thought about ways to just be like, yo, like, it's not just me that you're supporting, it is a legacy and a movement for the spirits industry.
It says so on the back.
Yeah, my
I
slogan is
see
Toast to the Legacy.
Yeah.
It's so much bigger than myself. I also did this to let people know whatever you put your mind to, you can do it. I know that's really cliche, but this was like
I
the
don't feel like
the solidifying
cliche,
factor
yeah.
for me. Like, you really can do whatever you put your mind to.
Right.
So whether it's a spirit, whatever your business, whatever idea you have in your brain, just try it.
Yeah.
And that was my reasoning for doing it. I just want to let people know I look like you, whether we're black or white. I don't have money. I'm not rich. I don't have. I did this as a normal, everyday working person.
Yeah.
So that was like, I wanted to do that. But
Yeah.
as far as like, especially black spirits, it's not a lot of us. Since I started 2 years ago, I've met so many Black people that have their own spirit brand.
Yep.
And I will support every single one.
Man.
I have a bar full of Black-owned spirits. From whiskeys to tequilas, a couple vodkas, wines.
Yeah.
And I will literally, everybody I can think of, I will rattle their names off. Any room that I'm in, I had a meeting Friday night and I was talking about other whiskey brands. They were looking like, I'm like, I don't care. I mean, you could pick up all three of us. It's not, people don't only drink one whiskey brand. So why would I try to be a gatekeeper?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
no, absolutely.
For what?
Listen.
Why?
Yeah. Well, and there's brand community there.
For sure.
And that's something
And it's
that I don't
dope
feel
to
like
see people stepping on a ledge. Like, you know what?
Yep.
I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to Krishan from Love Corkscrew Wine. She does a festival every year called Clinks Fest, where she does a festival in September for women-owned spirits and minority-owned spirits. This is a big thing, and she just did her second year last year. And when I tell you it was huge, it was huge. And then I know every year is only going to get bigger. And there was people from all over the country that came. And it was really cool to just see, like, damn, 2 years ago when I started, it might have only been like maybe 15 of us in the country. And now it's like 40 or 50.
Right.
And every year it's only going to get bigger because we're just making a footprint, because we're a really big consumer in the spirits industry. So to be a part of something that doesn't really represent us and encourage and inspire other people that look like me to do it is very satisfying.
Yeah.
Fair.
Well, and I feel that draws really unique parallels to the work that we've been doing on the terms of service side.
And that's
right?
why
Like,
I came on the show, to be honest with you. I turn down podcasts all the time. I'm not a superstar. I'm not Hollywood, but I have to be selective with who and what.
And mine,
Because some
it's
things just don't make
mindfulness.
sense. And it's no disrespect to the other podcasts and people that sometimes
It's
I'm
all
just really busy.
disrespect. Don't listen
Sometimes
to
I'm
him.
just really busy.
Yeah.
But ironically, it just lined up.
Yeah.
I know people that know you guys and they spoke highly of it, because I definitely will, like, hey, what you think of this person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or what do you think of what they have going on?
Gotta crowdsource.
And it's certain people that I hold to high regard in their opinion,
Yeah.
and they vouch for y'all. And that's why I even got through the initial text, like, yeah, I think this would be cool for y'all to do.
Yeah.
And I did a little research, but people's word, if you vouch for somebody, your word is bond.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
So if
absolutely.
you say,
That's how
hey,
you
go
know.
to this restaurant because they got good food and good drinks, I'm going to go because you told me.
Yeah.
Not because I went on Yelp.
right.
I'm going to go off of your word.
Right.
Yes.
See,
That's the
that
energy.
just makes me so damn happy.
Word is bond.
I'm like,
Yes,
I'm
yes.
like
Word
an
is
old
bond.
man
Yes.
in that way. I'm like, I hate looking at menus at places before I go there. I want 3 people to suggest a place to me, and
Right.
I'm like, okay, I'll go check it out. I don't fucks with Yelp. I think that's leftover from being a chef and having to read people's opinions of the food that I'm making and serving. It's like, if you don't want to go somewhere else, don't come here and try to ask
Right.
for something that you think we can make. This is not that place.
Word-
Yelp
word
will
is-
not be reaching out to us for sponsorship. I guarantee you that.
Sorry,
They
I hope I
better
did.
reach out to us for some feedback.
Right.
Yeah,
Yelp.
they're not going
Because
to
you
do that
need people
either.
like-
they're not going to do that either. Yep.
But y'all audiences who, they need that.
That's correct.
Yeah.
So,
They need those stars and reviews and likes and all of that from
Yeah.
your audience.
That
I
is
feel
correct.
like I wish that
They ain't coming over here, though.
I wish that they had like a
Nope.
section that like service industry people could leave reviews on customers.
The service industry does not get the credit that they deserve. And I'm learning that after 2 years and a couple months in the industry, like, you got
We out
very
here.
important.
Yeah.
Very important. And I'm learning every day how much
Right.
they drive food and spirits. And just
Yeah.
the world, as far as restaurants, like,
Right.
if it doesn't work, it doesn't
Yeah.
move without.
Yeah. Well,
People.
I saw
Yes.
I saw something not too long ago from
This is really good.
from someone
Thank you
from
so
someone in the
much.
industry that was saying something in regards to brand support, which when I first read it, I was just like, I was just like, I don't know if that hits the way you think it hits. But then when I reread it, I was just like, oh, okay, I guess I get where they're coming from. But basically, it was along the lines of, the whole purpose of of certain positions with brands is to drive sales, right? And so it's not for visibility and exposure and like blah blah blah, and just like being so ingrained in the creative industries. I'm just like, yes, I am very familiar with visibility and exposure and like all of that bullshit, right? But so when you look at the sustainability of a brand, that can only thrive through support of the hospitality industry.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
Yeah, it's extremely
The bartenders
simple.
are the reason why any and every brand is what it is. Because if they're not pouring it, people aren't going to drink it and people are not going to buy it.
Right, but also,
And
no one's going to talk about it.
I didn't understand
that.
that. So when I first came in, I got advice for somebody, and they said, you need to focus on premise. And I'm like, well, as a consumer,
No.
I was thinking from a consumer standpoint, and this is something that I stand corrected on. The on-premise is so much more important than off-premise. And there's no disrespect, because I do make my bread and butter from off-premise for sure. But, and I'm going to name drop some people: the Revolver, Duplex, Williams Inn, Americanos, Barrel Club. Those are some examples of some on-premise accounts that really support me. And them pouring it up or saying, hey, have you had this local whiskey brand? The guy is really cool. Exclusive Pour is another one. That's what made people, they drink it, they like it, and they go to the store and buy it.
Yeah.
And I had the opposite approach. And I stand corrected on that because somebody gave me that advice in the very beginning. I'm like, I'm going to try it a little different. But now I'm 2 years and a couple months in, and I'm realizing without these mixologists and bartenders, over with.
Right.
So my focus this year as a whole is to highlight and showcase the mixologists and bartenders, because that's who's going to help me drive my business.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
And it's not even about a money thing. It's like they're going to help me make my dreams come true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So
service
I
industry
need,
people do that.
the service
Because then
industry
they start
does that.
supporting you in your vision.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah.
And then most of the time people like it, which helps, of course, but their passion behind it, because like, so for an example, what I do,
And people will be having passion behind some bullshit. Okay,
that's
so
what I'm
like
saying.
let's
For
make
sure.
that
That's
real
what
clear.
I'm saying.
Okay,
what I try to do to
Yeah.
make people feel like,
Some
let them know, like,
turpentine,
I
okay,
really
like,
do
the fuck?
mess with y'all and I support y'all. All of my on-premise accounts, I'll say, yo, make some drinks and name them what you want them to be named.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not about me.
Yeah.
Like, it was a spot, it ended up falling through, but her name was London, and she made this really dope drink, and I was like, man, this reminds me of like London at Dusk. I was like, yo, let's name the drink that. And she was like, really? You gonna name it after me? I'm like, yeah, why not? You
Yeah.
came up with this cocktail.
Yeah.
Why not name it after you?
That does remind me though, when I used to bartend.
They don't sell it. They don't sell the drink. So
Well,
it fell
but-
through.
Yeah, no,
I'm not even gonna say
no.
the spot that dropped the ball on that, because I
No.
posted it and people came and pulled up and they liked it, and they never put it on the menu. But that's all.
damn.
Another
No,
story.
well, so that's
another
that's
story.
definitely a drop the ball on that. But so when people would ask me, you know, like maybe something fun, maybe something like you know that, you know, just make it cool, and I just throw something together that's palatable and
love
enjoy.
that.
Yeah, they absolutely love a dealer's choice, and they're like, oh well, what do you call it? I'm just like, well, what's your name? Jackie. It's the Jackie, babe. I was like,
But it
there you
makes
go. I
people
was like,
feel
oh my
so
God.
good. It's-
I mean, just like
it's so
falling
dope.
the fuck
It's
out,
so dope.
And I was just
It's so
like,
dope.
okay. I was like,
This is my problem.
and she's like, can I order this again? I was like, from me, but I was like, that's it. I
But
was
no,
like,
I don't really do mixed drinks too much, but I will literally trust in the bartender. Like, yo, what do you suggest? What's your favorite thing right now? Even if they don't sell Alexander James, I'll be like, yo, like what do you like to pour right now?
That's also the same method of when you're in a different market of just like where you should be going. You always ask the bartender or server, like
That's
at
who's
every
calling the
spot.
shots.
Yeah, but at every single spot, right?
Yeah.
Like if like stop number 1, it's just like, hey, where do you like to go? You go to spot number 2 because they suggested that you go there. Then it's just like, oh well, where do you like to go? That's spot number 3, because then you're actually
Yep.
getting the fabric of the culture of that market, as opposed to being like, I'm just gonna, look through pictures on Instagram and be like,
Right.
oh, well, that looks cute. I'm gonna go there. And I was like, well, the food's trash. The service is
Mid.
dismal. Yes. I was like, you went higher than I did.
That's why I'm an
But yeah,
inside cat.
But-
I do not go out. And like regulars, I have a lot of like regulars that come in. And people enjoy me because I'm not trying to be in your business. I'm not asking you anything personal about yourself. I'm not telling you anything personal about me. I won't even tell someone my name unless they ask.
What's your sign again?
Aries.
Oh, okay.
I'll burn that shit to the ground.
I'm talking trash.
But like,
I don't know anything
was
about
like, oh,
Aries.
I was like, so
I
you
don't
an
know anything
expert
about
now.
it. I just want to
I
Throw it
feel
right
like
back.
literally.
the reason that I got into doing the podcast is to change the minds of consumers.
Word.
People that come into the service industry, into a restaurant and is interacting with service industry people. I'm like, please remember that we're human beings.
Right.
And I feel like people...
And everyone has a birthday. Okay. So chill.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like, when you were like, what's your name? I'm going to name it after you. I would never, even for the sake of $1, do anything beyond the scope of what I think the level of service industry like treatment should be at. Because
I was a sassy bitch though when I
Yeah.
said that though.
I'm like,
I was like,
What's your name?
Yeah, right, exactly.
That's what we gonna call
Yeah,
it.
it was real smooth. It was real smooth, and I was just like, okay.
I just like,
I was like, that shit was a lemon drop martini. I was
I'm
like, there you
trying
go,
to,
babe. Like,
that's the thing. Whenever
Your name
someone's
Monique?
like a dealer's choice,
Oh, that's a
I
real Monique.
110% will make a kamikaze 100% of the time.
I have not had a kamikaze in fucking forever.
Same.
Yeah.
The last
But
time
if
I
I
had
pull
one,
up and you suggest a kamikaze, I'm going to drink it.
it's delicious, but it's
Same with the server. I'll ask, what's your favorite thing on the menu? And I will literally take their word for it because they're the people bringing it from the kitchen to the table every day. They see what's good.
You gotta be
and
careful.
I'm pretty
You gotta
sure,
be careful with that though.
Word,
Sometimes,
you're right.
sometimes because.
But a lot of times they try
Some
it
people
too,
have
though.
bad
Like,
taste.
what's your favorite thing on the
I was
menu?
not saying that.
What's your favorite drink on the menu right now? What's your favorite thing in the kitchen right now?
Yeah, I had an interview.
I'll try it. I'll try anything.
I had an interview once, way back in the day, to where it's like, it was such a fucking weird question. But I was like, whatever. And so what was interesting about it is, it's like, so what's your go-to beverage when you're not, when you're not working? I was like,
Tough question.
I was like, no, I know what my go-to beverage is, and I'll also tell you where to get it. And I was like, I want a mezcal Negroni up from the Matchbox. And they're like, oh, like, is that like, and I was just like, I can walk you through a fucking mezcal Negroni right now. You're just swapping the gin out for mezcal.
Yeah.
It's absolutely delicious. And at the time, you could get them on like, just, they were the best. Like, I would always say like they were on fire because they were on point every single fucking time. And this manager looks at me and it's like, oh, and like makes this little note. And I was just like, yeah, you don't even drink mezcal. Like, why are you?
Right,
I was
yeah.
just like, we don't have to
Don't
relate
do
on
it
that.
now.
But
Yeah.
also, it's just like, I am very much like have been a part of the industry. So I'm just like, if you're going to ask me, then you actually need to listen to my response
Right.
and be like, this is how you do it
Yeah.
if you so choose to do it.
I have the utmost respect. And that's why I always try to come in very approachable because I never want to come off like, oh, this is the owner. So he think I am nothing. I am just like
That is
you.
untrue, but I get what you're
I
saying.
am. I don't want to say
am a
I'm
plebe.
nothing.
Yeah.
But I'm going to come in super approachable. I'm going to talk to you. A lot of times, if I'm not wearing anything branded, you would never know. I'm going to order. I'm definitely going to order Alexander James, but I'm going to talk to you. And a lot of times people are like, that's the owner of the brand, right? That's why he's asking you a question. Like, oh, how does this do? I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I'll lie. I'm not gonna lie. I lie. I'm like,
Messy.
hey, somebody told me about this brand. Damn, maybe I am. Somebody told me about this brand. I wanted to check it out. Like, how does it sell? And they'll give me their honest opinion. A lot of times it's good. It's been a couple times where like, it's kind of slow, but I'm getting honest feedback.
Yeah.
And then the owner or the GM be like, you know who that is, right? I'll kind of like try to pull my hat down a little bit. Like, I just I want things to be real. Like,
Yeah.
you don't gotta
Right.
lie for numbers or aesthetic.
You ain't got to lie to kick it. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's figure out how to make this pop.
Yep.
If it's slow, how do we make it not slow?
Absolutely. So we, unfortunately, are approaching time.
Wow. I talk a lot. I'm sorry.
No.
We're good.
Stop apologizing.
Yes, and you have
You good?
zero to apologize for. But before we go into all the things
That we have to do.
that we're looking to do to tidy it all up, I would love to hear about your vision for the future of the brand.
Sure.
Like what has you really, really excited? Also, maybe potentially nervous, or just how are you feeling?
The cool thing is there's no pressure with any of this. But as far as
Which is a great place to.
oh, it's a really good
Be
place.
in.
There's no stress.
I'm like, you have 2 children.
Yeah.
No,
Really?
that's the pressure.
That's the
Yeah,
pressure.
see?
As far as the future of the brand, I see the brand growing slowly but surely. I'm not into the whole overnight success thing. Like, I
Agreed.
want this to be very organic.
Organic, yeah, you know.
We keep coming to this word organic, but I just
I'm
wanted
gonna break
to
out a thesaurus. I'm just gonna let me. I was like, because I should also know a different word than organic, but I was like, it just fits.
It's the perfect word, right?
Yeah.
Just the brand to grow slowly but surely. Becoming more of a household name. People understanding what and why. People getting a chance to try the juice and they see it a little bit more and more and more, and it grows and eventually move to other markets. I always have to make sure home is good first. But right now it's available in Illinois and DC, and then eventually it'll be Georgia and then Texas and some other markets, and I'll go from there. And maybe one day it'll be something that you can get anywhere.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it'll happen. I believe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's really it. Just making sure that the brand is solidified and people really understand the what and the why. People make sure people like the juice.
Yeah.
Making sure I keep it real at all times. Make sure I don't sell out and become too commercial or Hollywood.
110%.
I do have another spirit coming out hopefully this year,
Nice.
which will be a lot of fun to do.
TBD.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
But yeah, that's it, man. I just want to see the brand grow. I want to see people, get a chance to try it and me tap into the on-premise accounts, the bars and the restaurants. That's my focus in 2024. I'm good with the off-premise. Like there can always be another store, but I really want to hone in this year on the bars and restaurants.
Yeah.
It's the move.
Because I like to eat and I like to drink.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people like to eat and like to drink.
Yeah.
So why
Absolutely.
not put my focus on that?
I mean, it's
time.
necessary.
It's time to ramp it up. So that's where I see it.
Yeah. So I was just thinking, like, I just had this like glimpse to where I don't get to Helena very often, right? My uncle is the only one that's there. He, is taking care of the house that my grandparents left. But sometimes, my mom will go down there with, some of her sisters and brothers. But I hope in the very, very near future we figure out something, because nothing against Helena. It was always something that I said growing up, because my mom would be like, oh, those firefighters, they were, young men when I was a little girl. And I was just like, them the same firefighters?
Damn.
Yeah, I was like, damn, exactly. Yeah. And she's like, yeah. And I'm just like, see, this is just the damn town that time forgot, right?
Yeah.
You know? But the idea of going back, hanging out with my family in the spot that my grandparents built this beautiful life,
right,
and literally having a bottle of this and be like, I literally think everyone would fucking cry, honestly, because they would be like,
it's
we've
relatable.
never, like, you know what I mean? Like, it just like it feels like it feels like something that has yet to be written. And that is fucking phenomenal. And I'm super, super happy for you.
Thank you. I appreciate
honestly,
you.
Like,
that makes me happy to hear that you would even want to do that.
Yeah. Like, I just see it in my mind.
Good.
Like, and